ሰላም የጤና ፒዲያ ቤተሰቦች እንዴት ናችሁ? እንደሚታወቀው ለኤንክሌክስ ኤግዛም እየተዘጋጃችሁ ላላችሁ ስልጠና እየሰጠን እንደሆነ ይታወቃል። ይሄ ስልጠና የሚሆነው አሜሪካ፣ ካናዳ፣ ዩሮፕ ላላችሁ እንዲሁም ሀገር ውስጥ ሆናችሁ ሬጂስተር ላደረጋችሁ ስልጠና እየሰጠን እንገኛለን። ይህን ስልጠና መሰልጠን የምትፈልጉ በ0992927171 ወይ በ0913577685 በዋትስአፕ ወይም ቀጥታ በመደወል ወይ በቴሌግራም ኮንታክት ልታረጉን ትችላላችሁ። እንግዲህ ያው ዛሬም ይዤላችሁ የመጣሁት ኤንክሌክስ ጥያቄዎችን አንዳንድ ኢንቲግመንተሪ ጥያቄዎችን ይዤላችሁ መጥቻለሁ። ይሄ ቪዲዮ ለብዙዎች እንዲደርስ ሼር በማድረግ እንድትጀምሩ እጠይቃችኋለሁ። እንዲሁም ይህንን ዩቲዩብ ቻናል ቤተሰብ ያልሆናችሁ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ እንድትጀምሩ እላለሁ። የመጀመሪያው ጥያቄ The nurse is conducting a session about the principle of first aid and is discussing the intervention for snake bite to an extremity. The nurse would inform those attending the session that the first priority intervention in the event of this occurrence is which action? The scenario is there is a snake bite going on to the patient's extremity. The question is first priority intervention. Our choices given: A. Immobilize the affected extremity. B. Remove jewelry and constricting clothing from the victim. C. Place the extremity in a position so that it is below the level of the heart. D. Move the victim to the safe area away from the snake and encourage the victim to rest. Our answer is D. ነገር ግን እዚህ ጋር እንደምታዩት A, B, C, D ትክክለኛ መልሶች ናቸው። ግን what should be the first priority intervention የሚለው ነው የጥያቄው ኮር first priority intervention compared to one another. አንዱን ከአንዱ ስናወዳደረው የትኛው ነው more priority መሆን ያለበት ስኔክ ባይት ላይ? ያው ቴክስቡክ ሜዲካል ሰርጂካል ቴክስቡክ ላይም እንዳየነው እንዳለው scientific explanation of the first thing is to move the victim to the safe area away from the snake and encourage the victim to rest. ከዛ በኋላ ነው immobilization የሚመጣው። ከዛ በኋላ ነው in order to prevent excessive mobilization of the poison we might need to put patient's extremity in a position where it is below the level of the heart. Action, and we might need to move some constricting clothes from the victim. The first thing should be we should move the victim to safe area. In the event of snake bite, the first priority is to move the victim to safe area away from the snake. ይቀድማል መጀመሪያ ከዴንጀር ማራቅ ያስፈልጋል። ዴንጀሩ ጋር እንዳለ ኢሞቢላይዝ ብናረገው ነው ብሎ ሰከንድ አታክ ሊኖር ይችላል። victimun መጀመሪያ safe area ላይ መውሰድ አለብን። we should encourage the victim to rest to decrease venom circulation. Immobilizing the extremity and maintaining the extremity below the heart level would be the next step to do after moving the victim to safe area away from the snake. Critical priority questions. First priority intervention test taking strategy ላይ በደንብ ካያችሁ important ነው። እንደዚህ test taking strategy ላይ ዲቴል ገብተን how the exams are made, structureአቸው፣ አናቶሚያቸው፣ የጥያቄዎቹን እያንዳንዱን study class ላይ የምናይ ይሆናል። ግን first priority intervention የሚለው matters. Although all four are correct interventions, but the first priority intervention for this patient that the nurse would do is to move the victim. He ባይኖር D ባይኖር ኖሮ ምን ይሆናል? Immobilizing the affected extremity ይሆናል። We should read every choice critically. The next question says a client calls the emergency department after experiencing direct contact with poison ivy shrubs. The client tells the nurse that nothing is visible on the skin and asks what to do. The nurse would provide which response? Looking on the structure of the question, የተጠየቅነው ምንድነው? ኮንታክት ደርማታይተስ ነው። ይሄ አሁን ያለን ፔሸንት ኢመርጀንሲ ዲፓርትመንት መጥቶ ያቀረበው ኮምፕሌንት ምንድነው? ምንም አይነት ስሜት የለኝም፣ ቆዳዬ ላይ ማሳከክ ማበጥ ምንም አይነት ስሜት የለኝም። ነገር ግን with poison ivy ከተባለው እጽዋት ጋር ንክኪ ነበረኝ። ሶ እነ poison ivy እነ poison oak these are common plants ኮንታክት ደርማታይተስ የሚያመጡ። ሶ ኮንታክት ነበረኝ፣ ነገር ግን አሁን ምንም አይነት ሚታይ ነገር የለኝ፣ ምን ላድርግ ብሎ ነው። so how should the nurse respond to this patient? She or he should say, come to the emergency department, apply calamine lotion immediately to the exposed skin area, take a shower immediately, lathering and rinsing several times. It's not necessary to do anything if you cannot see anything on your skin. So ziga sle dermatology le skin le details and sle poison ivy shrubs, the first thing should be rinse madreg, shower madreg with a nice or with clean በሆነ ነገር ማጠብ ነው ኤሪያውን። whatever, whether the patient has visible skin symptoms, sign or symptoms, or ምንም ይኑረው አይኑረውም, the first thing after having contact with poison ivy, in order to reduce the poisonous oil, ኢሚቴደር እነዚህ ፕላንቶች የሚለቁትን ኦይል ለማስወገድ፣ ምክንያቱም ኦይሉ አማውንቱ በቀነሰ ቁጥር ሲታጠብ ሊያመጣ የሚችለው ቆዳ ላይ ሊያመጣ የሚችለው ተጽዕኖ ስለሚቀንስ መታጠብ ነው ያለበት ኤሪያው before doing anything. We might consider calamine lotion for symptoms, and አንዳንድ ጊዜ ደግሞ severe የሆነ ኮንታክት dermatitis because of such kind of plants ከመጣ ደግሞ we might consider using steroidoችን, low dose steroidoችን እንደነ ሃይድሮኮርቲሶን ያሉ ስቴሮይዶችን ልንጠቀም እንችላለን። አሁን ወደ ኢመርጀንሲ ዲፓርትመንት እና ማለትም መልስ ነው፣ ትክክል ነው። applying calamine lotionም ትክክል ነው። immediately የሚለው is wrong. Take a shower immediately, lathering and rinsing several times, that's a correct answer. It's not necessary to do anything if you cannot see anything on your hand. ምንም ካላየ ምንም ማታርግ አትምጣ, that's a wrong answer because these poisons, the poison ivy ያለው oil symptomatic ባይሆንም with time symptom የማምጣት ነገር ስላለው ቶሎ ሻወር መደረግ አለበት፣ ቶሎ አክሽን መወሰድ አለበት። so our answer is C. So when an individual comes in contact with poison ivy plants, the sap from the plant, that's the oil, forms an invisible film on the human skin. so ምንድነው የሚያደርገው ይሄ sap or the oil from this plant? የማይታይ ፊልም ነው የሚሰራው፣ የማይታይ ፊልም። So the client should be instructed to clean the area by showering immediately and to lather the skin several times and rinse each time in running water. So ይሄኛው the sap ከፕላንቱ የወጣ oil or the sap የሰራውን ፊልም ላየር ከቆዳ በአይን የማይታይ ፊልም ላየር ይሰራል። so ይሄንን ማስወገድ አለብን። ይሄን ለማስወገድ ደግሞ በተደጋጋሚ ታይም ማጠብ ያስፈልጋል። so removing the poison ivy sap will decrease the likelihood of irritation. so irritationን ስለሚቀንስልን calamine lotion may be one product recommended for use of dermatitis once dermatitis develops. In severe cases, as I said, we might consider using steroids. The other one is a client is being admitted to hospital for treatment of acute cellulitis of the lower left leg. During the admission assessment, the nurse expects to note which findings. So we should know what cellulitis looks like, what cellulitis affect, which layer of the skin is affected by cellulitis versus erythema. So ይሄንን ማወቅ ያስፈልጋል as a nurse. So during admission assessment, the nurse expects which of the following finding: A, an inflammation of the epidermis only, B, the skin infection of the dermis and underlying hypodermis, an acute superficial infection of the upper layer of the skin, an epidermal and lymphatic infection caused by staphylococcus. So what we know about cellulitis affects the deep layers of the skin. These are dermis and hypodermis. So the nurse expect to not finding of the skin infection on the dermis and on the underlying hypodermis. Our answer is B. So it's important to differentiate between cellulitis and erysipelas because erysipelas, it's a superficial infection affecting only the upper layer of the skin. So epidermis, epi means upper, ከላይኛው ያለው layer, epidermis አለን, dermis አለን, hypodermis አለን skin layer ላይ. So epidermisun ብቻ affect የሚያደርግ bacterial infection erysipelas, whereas cellulitis affects deep dermis and hypodermis. Deep dermis and hypodermis. So the nurse on her admission assessment, she expects the finding infection on dermis and hypodermis. So our answer is B. Cellulitis is an infection of, as I said, dermis and underlying hypodermis that results in deep red erythema without sharp borders and spreads widely throughout the tissue space. So the skin looks erythematous, somehow edematous. It could be tender and warm, and sometimes it could be nodular. Whereas erysipelas, like I said, it's an acute superficial bacterial infection affecting only the upper layer of the skin. That is epidermis. Epidermis ብቻ ነው erysipelas affect me. Cellulitis is not superficial, so it extends deep into deeper than the epidermis to dermis and hypodermis and affect ያደርጋል. The other question is the clinic nurse notes that the healthcare provider has documented diagnosis of herpes zoster shingles, which is a reactivation of varicella, right, in the client's chart. Based on the understanding of the cause of the disorder, the nurse determines that the definitive diagnosis was made by which diagnostic date? Now, the diagnosis is already made, herpes zoster ነው ተብሏል. ግን the nurse determines the definitive diagnosis for herpes zoster በምንድን ነው? A positive patch test ነው, positive culture test ነው, result ነው, abnormal biopsy result ነው, Wood's light examination indicative of infection ነው. So እያንዳንዱን ቴስት ማወቅ ይጠበቅብናል. So when it comes to herpes zoster, clinical diagnosis አለ, definitive diagnosis አለ. So clinical diagnosis is with symptoms, patient's presentation. If the lesion is typical for herpes zoster, like following a dermatomal lesion ከሆነ painful የሆነ lesion ከሆነ, okay, following previous infection with varicella, ክሊኒካሊ ነገሮችን ኮምባይን አድርገን ሰርተን የherpes zoster ዲያግኖሲስ ሴት ካደረገ ነርሱ, that's a clinical diagnosis. Now we are asked about definitive diagnosis. So definitely diagnosisን ሴት የሚያደርግልን ማን ነው? It's a viral culture. So positive viral culture. Patch test ለማን ነው የሚሰራው? Biopsy መቼ ያስፈልገናል? Wood's lights እነዚህንም ማወቅ ያስፈልጋል. So patch test usually allergy test ለማድረግ ነው. Biopsy in case of malignancy suspect ሲደረግ አንድን ማስ ኦር ከአንድ ሳምፕል ካንሰር ነው አይደለም እንደዚህ አይነት ሰስፒሸስ ሲኖር Wood's light usually fungal infection የፈንገስ ኢንፌክሽኖች ሲኖሩ እንጠቀማለን. So with the classic presentation of herpes zoster, the clinical examination is diagnostic. However, a viral culture of the lesion provides definitive diagnosis. As I said, clinical examination is diagnostic always. Definitive diagnosis is different from clinical diagnosis. So definitive diagnosis is made by using viral culture. So herpes zoster shingles is caused by reactivation of varicella zoster, and the virus causes which the virus that causes chickenpox. Patch test is a skin test that involves administration of an allergen to the surface area of skin to identify specific allergen. So አንድ ሰው ለሆነ ነገር አለርጂክ ነው ለማለት ቴስት የምናደርገው patch test ነው። ራሱን አለርጂኑን የተመጠነ ዶዝ ሰጥተን we test for allergies. Biopsy would provide a cytologic examination of tissue. In Wood's light examination, the skin is viewed under UV ray. Wood's light ላይ UV ray dark room ላይ ገብቶ UV ray ከተለቀቀበት በኋላ superficial infection, especially fungal infectionዎችን ዲቴክት የምናደርግበት መንገድ ነው. The other one is a client arriving at emergency department has experienced frostbite. Frostbite ምንድነው? Extreme tissue damage caused by extreme exposure to cold. ለበርድ የሆነ ቦታ ላይ እንደ ፍሪጅ አይነት ኦር በረዷማ የሆነ ቦታ ላይ የስኪን ቲሹ ኤክስፖዝ ሲደረግ የሚገጥመው ነው so frostbite to the right hand which finding would the nurse note to the assessment of client's hand frostbite ነው እንግዲህ exposure to cold ምንድነው the nurse expect የሚያደርገው or የምታደርገው a pink edematous hand b fairy red skin with edema in the nail beds C. Black fingertips surrounded by erythematous rash. D. A white color to the skin which is insensitive to touch. So our answer is D. ከላይ ያሉት አብዛኞቹ የኢንፌክሽን ምልክቶች ናቸው አይደል like a pink edematous hand usually because of active bacterial infection not because of cold makes the skin to become a white color and makes it insensitive to touch so finding in frostbite includes a white to blue color skin. The skin will be very hard, cold, and insensitive to touch. So, the development of blister or blebs could occur or tissue edema appears, but otherwise, option 1, 2, 3 are incorrect. When assessing a lesion diagnosed as basal cell carcinoma, BCC, the nurse most likely expects to note which findings, select all the apply. So it's a SATA question. A. An irregularly shaped lesion. B. A small papule with a dry, rough scale. C. A firm nodular lesion topped with crust. D. A pearly papule with central crater and a waxy border. E. Location in the bald spot at the top of the head that is exposed to outdoor sunlight. So, in order to answer such kind of question, we have to differentiate the characteristics of basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma of skin and melanoma, right? So our answer is D and E. So in basal cell carcinoma, the skin appears as pearly papule with central crater and rolled with waxy border. And exposure to UV sunlight is a major risk factor. That's why our answer is E. Because bald spot at the top of the head that's exposed to outdoor sunlight. The location of the cancer being at the bald melata botale where ፀሐይ የሚያገኝበት ቦታ location suggests BCC. Because exposure to UV ray is a major risk factor for basal cell carcinoma. When it comes to the character of the mass or the cancer, it's a pearly papule with central crater and rolled waxy border. Whereas melanoma የምንለው ደግሞ it's irregular shaped ነው, pigmented papule ነው, color አለው, usually black አይደል melanoma. Or it could be papule or plaque with red to white to blue toned color. Whereas one with a premalignant lesion actinic keratosis that could cause squamous cell carcinoma appears as a small macule and papule with a dry and rough adherent yellow to brown scale, whereas the one after premalignant lesion የነበረው actinic keratosis ወደ squamous cell carcinoma ሲቀየር ደግሞ ምን አይነት ይሆናል? firm የሆነ nodular lesion topped with crust or a central area of ulceration ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ሶ አንዳንድ ኮመን የሆኑ ጥያቄዎችን ስኪል ላይ ዛሬ ያየነው እነዚህ ነው። ሶ እነዚህ ጥያቄዎች የራሳቸው ቴክስት ቴኪንግ ስትራቴጂ አላቸው፣ ያጠናን ስትራቴጂ አላቸው፣ እንዲሁ ራፍሊ እንተናያሉም። ሶ በእኛ በጤና ፒዲያ የምናደርገው ሶ ቤዚካሊ ሲምፕሊ ይሄንን ኤግዛም መወጣት የምትችሉበትን ሜተድ ነው ያዘጋጀንላችሁ። ሶ አሁንም እየተዘጋጃችሁ ያላችሁ ጆይን አርጋችሁ የኛን ትሬኒንግ መውሰድ ትችላላችሁ። ሶ ጆይን ለማድረግ እንዲሁም ይሄን ስልጠና የምትፈልጉ ከሆነ ሶ you can contact us with this number 0913 ቁጥራችን ነው። በዋትስአፕ ወይ በቴሌግራም ወይም ቀጥታ በመደወል ልታወሩንና ኮሙኒኬት ልታረጉን እንዲሁም ክላሳችሁን መጀመር ትችላላችሁ። thank you so much።
ለላውኛ መተን ታብታብ አርጎ እንበል አንልም። እኛ እንግዲህ ጥሩ ነገሮች እናመጣለን ወደ እናንተ ማለት ነው። ግን አሁንም በድጋሚችን ላይክ ያርጉ ምንም አይቆጥርም እኮ ይኖራል የሚኖር ህይወት ነው። ይኖራል ላይክ በማድረግ ይኖራል። ስለዚህ ላይክ ያርጉ ሼር ያርጉ ይመቻችሁ።